Let's be honest. Most of us waste money every single day, not on luxury vacations or five-star restaurants, but on small, sneaky expenses that feel normal. And that's the problem. They've been normalized so deeply that we don't even question them. Today, I'm going to break down 7 everyday expenses you don't actually need. And let me warn you, this list is going to sting a little, because some of the things I'll call out are probably part of your daily routine. But if you're serious about saving thousands of dollars a year, this is where you start. Let's dive into the first one. Expensive coffee runs. Yes, I'm talking about your $4 to $6 daily latte habit. People always say, oh, it's just coffee, it's harmless. But if you're buying that coffee 5 days a week, we're talking $1,500 to $2,000 a year on caffeine. And don't come at me with, but I need it to function. You can brew great coffee at home for a fraction of the cost. You're not paying for coffee at Starbucks or Costa. You're paying for branding, for vibes, for the illusion of being a busy professional. Drop the ego, buy a good coffee maker once, and watch your savings explode. Bottled water. This one's pure marketing manipulation. Companies have convinced us that bottled water is somehow healthier, purer, safer. In reality, most bottled water is just filtered tap water, sold back to you at 300 times the cost. Meanwhile, you could invest in a $20 water filter, fill a reusable bottle, and never waste another dime. Bottled water isn't just bad for your wallet, it's bad for the environment, and honestly, it's a scam that people still buy into it in 2025. Subscription overload. Streaming services, cloud storage, app memberships, premium this, pro that, it all adds up. The average household is paying for 7 to 10 active subscriptions, and most people only use 2 or 3. That's wasted money right there. Audit your subscriptions today. If you haven't used something in the past 30 days, cancel it. Trust me, Netflix won't miss you, and neither will that meditation app you open twice. Gym memberships you don't use. Here's a controversial one. If you're paying for a gym membership and not going at least twice a week, you're burning money. Period. And I know the excuses. I'll start next month. Work's been crazy. At least it motivates me to try. No, it doesn't. You don't need a gym membership to stay healthy. Body weight exercises at home, resistance bands, a set of dumbbells, all of that costs less than 2 months of gym fees. Unless you're actively committed, your gym membership is just an expensive guilt trip. And look, these first 4 categories alone, they can easily add up to $4,000 to $5,000 per year. Think about that. Money you could be investing, traveling, or just saving for peace of mind, instead of throwing it at coffee shops, bottled water brands, Netflix, and gyms you don't visit. We're just getting started. In the next section, I'll reveal 3 more everyday expenses that drain your wallet. And these ones are even harder to admit to because they're baked into modern culture. All right, we've already called out the big 4. Overpriced coffee, bottled water, subscription overload, and unused gym memberships. Those are the obvious wallet drainers. But now let's get into the ones people really hate to admit because they're tied to comfort, convenience, and even ego. These next 3 categories, they're sneaky. They don't just eat away at your savings, they convince you that you're making smart choices while you're actually being played. 5. Convenience food and takeout. Listen, I get it. You're busy, you're tired, you don't want to cook after a long day. But let's face the math. A single $15 takeout meal might feel harmless. But if you're doing that 4 times a week, you're spending $3,000 a year just to avoid boiling pasta or throwing chicken in the oven. And here's the kicker. Most of those meals aren't even healthier or tastier than what you could make at home in 20 minutes. The delivery fees, the tip, the inflated menu prices, you're paying a premium for laziness. And in 2025, with inflation hitting food prices everywhere, that quick bite habit is one of the fastest ways to go broke. Invest in meal prepping. It's not glamorous, but saving thousands of dollars a year while eating better food, that's real power. 6. Brand name products. This one might hurt your pride a little, but brand loyalty is draining your wallet every time you shop, whether it's clothes, electronics, or even groceries. Most of the time, you're paying extra for a logo. Same quality, same performance, different price tag. Take groceries, for example. Store brand cereal or medicine often comes from the same factories as the big names with a different label slapped on. Yet people happily pay 30 to 50% more just for the illusion of quality. The same goes for clothes. That logo on your hoodie, it's not fabric, it's a status symbol, and you're renting that status with every purchase. If you care more about what strangers think than about your financial freedom, then go ahead, keep buying brand names, but don't complain about being broke. Number 7, new cars and fancy tech upgrades. This one is controversial, but it needs to be said. New cars are financial sinkholes. The moment you drive off the lot, that shiny vehicle loses 20 to 30% of its value. And yet people keep financing $40,000 cars with money they don't have just to show off. Same thing with phones. If you're upgrading to the newest iPhone every year, you're throwing cash into a black hole. Let's break it down. A decent used car that's 3 years old, reliable, cheaper insurance, and it's already absorbed the biggest appreciation hit. Meanwhile, your brand new car is costing you in higher payments, higher insurance, and faster depreciation. The smart move is simple. Buy used, maintain it well, and keep it until it's no longer cost-effective to repair. Same with tech. Unless your job literally requires the latest processor or camera, you don't need to upgrade every cycle. Stretch your devices to 3, 4, even 5 years. That's hundreds, even thousands in savings. And look, I know what some of you are thinking, but I work hard, I deserve nice things. Sure, you do, but nice things that appreciate in value or actually improve your life, not gadgets and cars that bleed your wallet dry while making shareholders rich. So, let's recap. Convenience food drains thousands a year. Brand name products sell you status at a markup. New cars and tech keep you trapped in debt. These last 3 categories are massive. Together with the first 4 from part 1, we've hit all 7 everyday expenses you don't need. But here's the thing, knowing this list isn't enough. The real challenge is breaking the habits. In the final part, I'm going to show you exactly how to take action, how to cut these costs, redirect that money into savings or investments, and stop feeling like you're broke all the time. This is where the rubber meets the road. So, we've exposed the 7 everyday money traps: overpriced coffee, bottled water, subscription overload, unused gym memberships, convenience food, brand name products, and flashy new cars or gadgets. The list sounds simple, right? But here's the real question. How do you actually stop wasting money on them without feeling deprived? Because that's the trick. If it feels like punishment, you won't stick to it. The goal isn't to live like a monk, it's to spend smarter. Step 1. Identify your weak spot. Not all 7 will apply equally to you. For some people, it's daily coffee runs. For others, it's Uber Eats 3 nights a week. The first step is awareness. Open your bank statement, highlight the repeating charges, and see what stings the most. That's your starting point. Step 2. Replace, not just cut. Here's why most budgeting advice fails. It tells you to stop cold turkey, but cutting without replacing leaves a hole. Instead, swap the habit. Love your $6 latte? Buy a high-quality coffee maker and a fancy mug so making it at home feels like an experience. Addicted to takeout? Meal prep your favorite dishes and freeze them, so convenience is still there, just cheaper. The psychology here matters. You're not losing comfort, you're just shifting how you get it. Step 3. Automate the savings. Every time you cancel an expense, say a $10 subscription, immediately redirect that money into a savings or investment account. Don't let it float around or you'll spend it elsewhere. Automation is the key. Create a rule. If I cut $50 in wasted spending, $50 automatically goes into my savings. That's how you build momentum. Step 4. Challenge the ego purchases. Brand names, luxury cars, new tech, these are ego traps. Ask yourself, am I buying this because it improves my life or because it impresses other people? If it's the latter, skip it. Financial freedom is way sexier than a designer logo. And trust me, nobody cares about the brand of water you drink. Step 5. Redefine treating yourself. This one's important. Cutting waste doesn't mean cutting joy. But instead of treating yourself with stuff that drains your finances, treat yourself with experiences or investments. A weekend trip, a course that builds skills, or even just a guilt-free night out. Those give you lasting value. Meanwhile, your seventh streaming service doesn't. The bigger picture. Here's what most people don't realize. These everyday expenses are not just costing you a few bucks. They're costing you opportunity. If you save $500 a month by cutting waste, that's $6,000 a year. Invested wisely, that can grow into tens of thousands over time. People say they can't afford to invest, can't afford to save, can't afford to retire, but in reality, they're just bleeding money on things they don't need. Wealth doesn't come from earning more, it comes from keeping more of what you earn. And here's the hard truth. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to keep their daily coffee, their shiny cars, their endless subscriptions. And that's fine. But those same people will keep wondering why they're broke. You're different. You made it this far, you're questioning your habits, and you're ready to make changes. Start small, pick 1 or 2 categories, cut them this month, and put that money to work for you. Because the truth is, financial freedom isn't about winning the lottery or scoring $1 million salary. It's about plugging the leaks in your wallet and then letting time and discipline